me. Oh, you clapped and that light turned off. Oh my god.
I think it's dead.
That's funny. You clapped and it literally turned off. Oh, it just turned on.
Yeah, it's just
Is it like motion censored?
No, it's just cheap.
Oh.
It's like almost dead.
Oh my god. It's okay.
You can go ahead and start though.
I bet. Are you recording?
Yes. We are rolling.
Okay. I'm saying my goodbyes in my text. Okay, here we go. I'm like nervous. I don't normally do this in front of an audience, Brian.
You have one person.
No, literally. All right, now but I'm not used to looking into like one direction, so now I have to like make sure I'm looking at the camera.
Talk to me.
All right, yeah, there we go. All right. Hello, my beautiful people. How are we doing today? As we can see, hello, camera. This is very new for me. For those of you that are just listening on Apple or on Spotify, I am right now working with my good friend Brian, who's wanting to get into recording stuff like this. So there is a visual now for the podcast. So yay! Welcome back to the podcast. Always Adri, as always. Hello, it's your girl Adri. How we doing? Hope everyone's doing super well. I'm actually recording this episode a little earlier than normal. It's currently Tuesday, noon on a Tuesday. It's been a really productive day so far. Honestly, I woke up at 7 a.m. I normally go on a morning walk. You guys know I like to get my morning movement out of the way just to get some blood flowing, get some steps in since I'm trying to get, working to get 10K a day. But I woke up at 7 a.m. and just went straight into the kitchen, made my breakfast, got ready for the gym, went to go train. I was at Corrupted Strength by like 9:45 this morning, which is a new record for me. Honestly, pretty insane, pretty crazy being that early. But yeah, it was a productive session and now I'm here. I'm having a great Tuesday so far. I hope you guys are having a great day. When you're listening to this, it'll be Friday over the weekend. So hopefully you have a great weekend so far. And yeah, I don't know, this feels a little weird to me, like having to talk. The problem is right now is that I'm talking into a camera, so I'm like, hi, like talking into the camera, making sure I'm making eye contact instead of just like staring at my computer or staring off into nowhere, but it'll be something to get used to. But yeah, just wanting to, catch up with you guys. I know last week Joel was on the podcast, so he came on and we talked about, just answer some questions, some relationship questions, some life questions, so that was good. But now it's just me. I'm back. I'm in my new apartment. You guys on the camera didn't see my old apartment because I never recorded it, but I'm in my new apartment. On Thursday, it'll be 2 weeks exactly since I've been here, so everything is still a work in progress, decorating and unboxing and everything, but we're working on it. We're getting there. But other than that, I don't know what's been going on. I talked to you guys a little bit last week about my training updates. So we can just touch a little bit more on that, delve a little deeper since I'm by myself and I'm kind of just chilling, no time constraint or no other person to entertain on the podcast. But yeah, so this Saturday I was exactly 5 weeks out from my next powerlifting meet. It'll be here in Houston, June 24th. So that's super exciting. So now, as of Tuesday, I'm 4 weeks and 4 days, 4 weeks and a couple days, whatever, out from that meet. And I'm feeling good. So this is actually the first week of my last block of prep, my peak block. So this week I just have some easy singles, RPE 5 singles for squat and bench I hit yesterday. And then I did an RPE 6 deadlift today because Kelly and I are planning on peaking my deadlifts 1 week earlier than I peak my squat and my bench, just because I take a little longer to recover from deadlifts, because if you guys know me, I have this mental block against the deadlifts that I really just need to turn off and get past, but it's a work in progress. So deadlifts take a little longer to recover, so I am peaking my deadlifts on week 3 instead of week 4 with my squat and my bench. And then after week 4, we go into the taper, and then that leads us right into meet day. And I'm really excited. Brian's taking a picture. I'm really excited for meet day. I'm feeling, good about myself. I'm really just wanting to go in and execute the best to my ability. I already know how far I've come since my last meet in December. December 10th was my first meet. I know how I did then. I honestly executed perfectly. Brian was there. Shout out Brian. Yay. But yeah, executed a literal perfect meet, 9 for 9, 27 white lights, which is exactly what my goal was for the meet. So now I'm hoping to do that again and hit some crazier numbers. Even in my off season, I've hit such insane numbers. Like I've already progressed so much in the 4 or 5 months since my last meet. So I already know what numbers I'm looking at to bring to the platform, which is going to be super exciting. Again, it's just my second meet. I am still very new to the sport, but I know how much growing I've done in my off season and just on my own, and so much learning that I've done through my amazing coach Kelly and through just training at the incredible gym that is Corrupted Strength, and with my peers and everyone around me. It's just been an amazing, amazing experience. So yeah, I think I'm just really proud of how far I've come, thinking about just how much stronger I've gotten, how much I've changed mentally. Like I go back and look at videos of myself from like November, like going to peak into into my first meet, how I was struggling to hit 265 for a deadlift, and now 265 is like my second or third warm up for my deadlifts. For my squat, I was, a good top set for me was like 275, and now I'm again 275. I typically skip over at this point and just go into like a higher number for another warm up. So it really is just crazy, like how far you can really progress. Oh, Pluto's coming. I hope he comes into the camera. It really is just crazy, like how far you can progress and how much progress you can make when you just keep your head down and you just work and just be in competition with yourself at all times. So that's kind of, something I want to touch on in this episode, is just the idea of it being okay to have some sort of like external motivation or like external, not conflict, but not beef either. I don't want to say beef, but like it's good to have like external reasons to like want to be great or want to succeed at something. Like, oh yeah, like I want to win first place, or I want to beat so and so at your meet or your competition, whatever it might be. There goes Pluto. So yeah, it's good to have like external reasons, but intrinsic internal reasons are ultimately more important and more motivational, I believe, because if you're constantly looking for external sources of validation or external prizes, external rewards, you're like never going to be satisfied. You can only get so far with external motivation and extrinsic rewards, that you're only going to get so far with them. So being in competition with yourself just ends up being a lot more rewarding. Like I said, like I compare my numbers right now to the numbers I was looking at hitting for my first meet, and I'm like, wow, like I really have come so far, even though I might not be the strongest person on the platform, whether I am for this meet or not, because I didn't win first place at my last meet, not to toot my own horn, but I did win first place in my weight class, which did come as a surprise to me. I did not expect to do that, but now, like I said, I'm taking what I can get, and I know what I'm capable of, and I just know how far I've come, and I'll be happy with, my best attempts on the platform. And that's all I can say for myself. I'm not the one to be out here making any crazy claims or any crazy accusations about I'm going to beat so-and-so and I'm going to hit these numbers, because I don't want to fall into the trap of getting, you know what I mean? I don't know what to say. I don't want to fall into the idea of hitting certain numbers on the platform, because if something happens and I don't hit them, then I get disappointed, but I'm like, oh shit, like I definitely know I was capable of this. I should have hit this, whatever. It's not good to go into training or this meet wanting to hit specific numbers, because you could fall short. Something could go off, whatever. It's just, that's why my mindset is really just, let me bring my best and try my best, be in competition with myself, and just know that I can, perform the best to my capabilities. And that's all that I can ask of myself, It's a big thing that I'm relaying to Joel because obviously this is Joel's first meet. Also, he's going to be doing the same meet. In case you guys didn't know, I'm pretty sure we've talked about it already. But we are doing the same meet June 24th here in Houston. We'll post more details about it when we get to it in case people want to live stream or come visit. Who knows, whatever. But that's a big thing that I'm like hounding into Joel's mentality is like you can't be thinking of numbers. And it's hard because I'm thinking of specific numbers. I'm like, oh, my deadlift is lacking behind my squat. I should be able to hit this deadlift because I hit this squat. When I'm like, no, I can't be thinking like that. You really just, it's so important to just take what's there, and you really can't get stuck in the mindset of trying to hit certain numbers because you'll be disappointed or you might hurt yourself even trying to hit certain numbers when your body's not ready to hit certain numbers. So that's a big thing that I'm relaying to him, and that's something that I'm going to tell all my clients too, is just to, perform to your best ability. Take what's there. Oh, Pluto's rubbing up on Brian. Aww. He warmed up to you.
Animals love me, dude.
He loves you. I wonder if he remembers you from our San Antonio trip. Oh, cuties. I can't. But yeah, something that I really like to relay to my clients as well is, be proud of what your body is capable of doing and treat it with kindness. Take what's there. As long as, like I said, you give it your best effort, you're in competition with yourself, like you win at the end of the day, Fuck all the noise, fuck anyone else around you. It's you versus you. And as corny as that might sound, that's really what's important at the end of the day. But other than that, what else do I want to talk about? I know that I got this DM. So like I said, I trained earlier today. And where did this DM go? I trained earlier today. Like I said, I got my stuff done out of the way, which is great, super productive, like I said. And I got this DM from someone, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is a guy, definitely. He asked me, quick question for you. Do you do USPA, USAPL? USPAL, he wrote, but USAPL is what he meant. For those that don't know, there's two big, there's multiple powerlifting federations, like IPF included, but there's two essentially really big ones, USAPL and USPA, which are like kind of, they don't go like head to head, but like when you're first starting powerlifting, people are like, oh, am I going to go USPA or USAPL? Like that's kind of like the big two that you have to decide between. So I and the majority of the people around me compete in USAPL, which is the biggest drug-tested powerlifting federation in the country. I want to say the country. I want to say it's just in the country because IPF is international. And I'm pretty sure IPF is tested also. But IPF is international. I'm not sure how it works. But I know they claim to be the largest drug-tested powerlifting organization. So whatever. So that's USAPL, which is where I compete, where Russ competes, Wheeze, Bella, like Joel's competing, like all these people, right? USPA is so USPA I'm pretty sure has like two subcategories. So it's USPA, and then they have the tested federation, which is the drug-free federation, and then they have the untested federation. And the untested federation is where you can do, whatever you want, so to say. Or ingest, intake, whatever you want. And they, turn a blind eye, they don't test you, they don't know. But it typically happens to where, like, if you compete USPA, you might as well do untested. That's at least, like, the vibe I get, like, typically how it goes. Because if you're gonna do tested, you might as well just do USAPL. I don't know the true logistics of it. I just know those are the big differences, right? There's also big differences in, like, when you weigh in for your meet. Like, USPA does 24-hour weigh-ins versus USAPL does 2-hour before you lift weigh-ins. So that's a whole different thing in and of itself. They use different bars and everything. But basically, okay. Oh, whoops, I just hit the mic. Okay. Basically, this guy asked me, do you do USPA or USAPL? I said, I do USAPL. He said, the meet I might do is USAPL, but I'm scared because the judges are crazy in that that federation. And I opened that and I read it, and I was like, I had a very, like, Russ moment. If you guys listen to Russ, the way he speaks, the way he, like, the type of competitor that he is, the type of athlete and, like, person that he is, he's very competitive, and he's very, like, get your shit done or, like, don't do it at all type of energy. Where he's like, if you don't want to do something, it's not my fucking problem if you don't want to do it. Like, right? Like, people will ask him, like, oh, how do oh God, like, I have no motivation to go to the gym. Like, where do I find the motivation? Oh, like, I love watching you. You motivate me so much, Russ, whatever. And he's like, I can't answer that question for you. Like, if you don't have motivation, don't fucking do it. Like, you can't be looking and searching again and again, like I said earlier, for these external sources and external bouts of motivation, because you're going to stop finding them. They're going to stop coming about. And you're screwed. Like, if you don't have the discipline that it takes to be great, or the discipline and the drive to want to continue getting better at what you're doing, whatever it is, powerlifting, fucking surfing, soccer, football, any sport, any hobby, whatever it is that you're doing, if you don't have the discipline and the drive to just be intrinsically motivated by yourself, again, you versus you mentality, if you don't have that discipline and that drive, like, don't fucking do it. And, people like me, people like Russ are going to tell it to you difficultly like that. We're going to tell you, like, I can't fucking help you. I'm sorry. Like, I can post as much as I want. And I know that obviously, like, I sit here and some people are motivated, inspired by me, but you can't be looking for these people to motivate you externally, right? So back to the original point of what I was saying. So reading this response to this guy, I thought of Russ immediately, where I'm like, how are you scared of the judges? Like, because the judges are crazy in that federation. So this kid, apparently, I don't know if he listens to this podcast. If he does, hi. I'm not saying his name. I'm just making an example of this. But the judges are crazy in that federation. I read that and I'm like, just execute. Like, do better. Like, what is there to worry about? Because the opposite of that in my head, I read the USAPL judges are crazy, which means, oh, I might do USPA because the judges are more lenient. AKA, I can hit a shitty squat and not hit depth, and they'll give me 3 white lights because their judges aren't as intense as the USAPL judges. Like, so that's basically you admitting that you want a free pass, right? And I literally responded, I said, that's silly, haha, just execute perfectly. And he said, true, I had a dream where I bombed out, so my nerves of doing a meet are high, but a lot of my friends are doing it, so I should be fine. And I was like, again, like, why are you already thinking about the idea of bombing out? Joel the other day said something like that to me. Joel was like, oh, I don't want to bomb out. And I'm like, why is that even an option in your head? I really sound like Russ right now. I'm like, why are you even thinking of the idea of bombing out? It's not as common as you'd think. Like, just execute. It really, I really feel like I sound like an asshole, but like, just do what you need to do. Do your fucking job, execute your squats, hit the depth you need to hit, and you'll be fine. Like, why are we even considering the idea of bombing out? For those of you that don't know, powerlifting, lingo, bombing out is basically when you fail, not even fail, you can hit, like, stand up from all 3 of your squats. But bombing out means like if you don't hit depth and they give you 3 red lights because you don't hit depth for every single squat, you technically bomb out of the meet because you can't go on after you miss all 3 of your squats. Even if you stand up from them all, if you don't hit depth, you bomb out essentially. So even people coming in here and saying like, oh, like, I'm scared I'm going to bomb out. It's like, why are you scared of bombing out? Just execute during your training, during your practice, and your performance will go the way it needs to go. You know what I mean? Like, the idea of bombing out shouldn't be in your head. That's like going into a fucking, like, I don't know, basketball game and being like, oh, I'm scared I'm going to miss all my free throws, or oh, I'm scared I'm going to miss all of my shots. Why are you even considering that option? Or like, oh, going into a football game, a wide receiver, like, oh, I'm scared I'm going to forget my routes. Why are you even considering that as an option? Like, I don't think any other performer or any other athlete goes into their choice of competition and thinks of like the negative thing that could happen. So why are powerlifters and people going into meets considering the possibility of bombing out? It just, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I get, it's one thing to be nervous, but it's another thing to place such a specific nerve on the concept of bombing out, because you could accidentally manifest it. I mean, like, I know some people are weird about manifestation, but like, why are you accidentally trying to manifest bombing out? When I went into my first meet, the idea of bombing out never went through my head. Never. I was nervous. Don't get me fucking wrong. I was nervous going into my first meet. Of course I was. But I don't think I ever sat there and said, like, oh my God, I'm scared I'm going to bomb out. I never said that to myself. So, to this kid that I was DMing, I told him just hit comp standards in training and you'll have no problem. Have someone check your depth in training. So, if you're the person that's sitting here and saying that you are, first of all, again, I think what really not ticked me off, I wasn't upset, but the thing that really like kind of struck a nerve with me was like, are you really going to pick USPA because you think the judges are more lenient? Like, what type of competitor, what type of person does that make you? Like, you're going the easy route, essentially? Where, like, I've had no issue in the USAPL because I just execute what I need to do. Like, I don't know. It really was a moment that made me feel like Russell Orhe, where I was like, just execute. Do your job correctly, and you will execute and you'll perform the way you need to perform when it comes to it. That's it. Don't sit there and consider the idea of bombing out. Don't sit there and try to pick the easy way out. Picking USPA because you think the judges are going to be more lenient is insane. If anything, you would want to go to the more difficult judges to prove yourself, right? Or am I just alone in that thought process? I don't know. But yeah, I just had to talk about that real quick. So shout out to that person. I don't know, like I said, if he listens to this, but if you do, again, I'm not mad at you. I just wanted to put it like a learning, a lesson behind this, right? Like, change your mindset. Stop thinking of negative outcomes in what it is that you're doing, right? Whether it's, a physical performance, whether it's a competition, whatever it might be. If you're an athlete, a performer, a singer, whatever it might be, why are you placing negative intention into what it is that you're doing or what it is that you're working for? It just doesn't make any sense. You're going to accidentally manifest the negative, and then you're going to be so upset when it happens. So it's like you told yourself you were going to bomb out, so here you are bombing out. You know what I mean? Why are you thinking like that in the first place? I don't know. Beats me. All I know, like I said, is I'm going into my meet with the intention of bringing my best to the platform. Like I said, I'm pretty sure for this meet, I want to attempt to go 9 for 9 again. I don't think I need to hit any crazy number to like prove myself. I'm not going to sit there and think, oh, I want to PR all my lifts. I'd be happy, honestly, with matching all of my PRs because of the fact that I know how far I've come since my last meet. So even matching my current PRs would be better than what I did back in December. Exponentially better. Because my third attempts in December were 325 squat, 193 bench, and a 315 deadlift. And I have way exceeded those. Not my bench, actually. My bench has been kind of stagnant, which I'm a little upset about. But it's okay. Hopefully 193 will move this block, and then maybe bench will probably be the one that I push a little bit on meet day. We're going to see if we can go up past 90 kg. Either if I hit 90 kg, 198 pounds on meet day, I'd be extremely satisfied. So bench is going to be the only one that I think I'm going to like really, really try to fight for to like PR. But everything else, if I match everything else, I'd be happy with myself and I'd be satisfied with myself. And then we will continue working because like I said, I feel like I'm a little lenient on myself just because I want to be great. I do want to be really good in a sport, and I'm really inspired by everyone around me, like being friends with people like Cranen and Russ and Jamal and Sean and Bella, like people that have been doing this for literal years. And I'm like, I'm really so new to the sport that like I've been with my current like good coach, shout out Kelly, for not even a year. And I've made so much progress under her, and I'm just so excited to continue seeing what I'm capable of, continue putting my body through the type of training that I put it through, and just continuing to see what it is that I'm capable of in the sport and see how it continues to change me, physically and mentally. So, yeah, that's my tangent about powerlifting today, I'd say. Those were kind of the two big things I wanted to talk about. I'm trying to think of anything else. Let me check my Ask Adri submissions because let me go on my computer real quick. Let's put a pause to this. I'm going to open up I do like an advice column type of thing. I'm going to see if I've gotten any responses on it that I can answer. Might be a quick little episode today. I'm at like 20 minutes. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay. One thing. I'm trying to think of what else I can talk about. Okay. We'll just end it up on here. Bet. Okay, so I do have one quick always or like ask Adri submission. So this is from Macy. This has to be Macy, my client. So shout out Macy. I know she listens to the podcast. So hi Macy. Thank you for submitting. She asked me, what's my favorite horror movie trope / a concept for a horror movie that I'd like to see? Because I know she likes horror movies also, and she's seen me talk about this on my Instagram story. This is quite the veer from what I was last talking about with the powerlifting motivational stuff, but I want to, definitely just want to wrap that up. You know, like I said, I'm going into this meet with my best intention, my best ability to just compete with myself, and as long as I know that I'm putting my best into it, I'll be happy with how it goes. So I'm excited to take you guys on this journey with me and continue doing that. Oh, wait, one more thing. I want to tell you guys one more thing before I answer this question from Macy. Exciting stuff is happening. Tomorrow I am going to LA with Gymshark. Gymshark hit me up probably like 2 weeks ago, and they were like, yeah, we're doing this shoot on the 25th. Do you want to go be part of this? And I hopped on a call with them, got all the details, and I'm going to be going to LA with Gymshark tomorrow. So it's going to be my first like official business trip. It's going to be super exciting. I'm so excited. I come back. Yeah. Photo shoot on the 25th. So Thursday. So I fly in tomorrow at 6, land at like 8 p.m. California time. Shoot.
Ask them if they want to sponsor a videographer. It would help you a lot.
Bet.
So you don't have to do anything. But it's very last minute, so I don't think they'll do it.
That's true. Yeah.
But next time.
Like sponsor videographer so I can do stuff with you like here.
Like, hey, can I bring my videographer and you guys cover them? So it's easier for me to make content and I can focus on making content, you can focus on editing it. And I'm sure they have the budget for it. As long as like you can tell them like, hey, we'll give you photos, we'll make more content while we're there.
Yeah.
Just cover him.
Bet.
Her.
Yeah. Bet. Like how they did with Izzy with Swole when they went to, Oh, yeah, you went to Philly with her. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Bet.
Worst case,
next
you
time.
say, no, it's on our budget. I mean,
yeah.
At least you tried.
Exactly. There you go. Bet. Oh, look at Pluto. But yeah, so going to LA. So it's super exciting. It's going to be my first like business trip that I've ever really gone on. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. By the time you guys listen to this, I will probably be back, if not on my way back to Houston already. So just know that I am combining last week's YouTube video and this week's YouTube video into one long video of the last 2 weeks, because I know I've been dropping YouTube videos weekly. So last week and this week's will be combined so I can show that Gymshark stuff all in this video because I didn't record a lot of stuff from last week. But anyway, okay, so wrapping that up, back to Macy's question. So a good horror movie trope that I enjoy. My favorite subcategory of horror movies is actually, y'all are gonna, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird, but the demonic, like, the demonic, like, possession movie. The demonic, like, horror, like, possession movies are my favorite. Yeah.
I don't know. You would sit here at night by yourself, pitch dark, and
yes. I watched, before I moved, the last movie I watched was the third Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It. I rewatched it because the first time I watched it, I think I fucking fell asleep. I hated it. It wasn't that good. So I was like, you know what? I'm bored. Let me just watch this movie. And it wasn't that good. The first Conjuring movie is the best. Like such an incredible movie. I love the first Conjuring. The second one was very meh. The third one was even worse. I'm pretty sure there's a fourth one in production right now. I'm very iffy about it, but I'm probably still going to pay the money to go see it just because I need to figure it out for myself. But yeah, the favorite horror movie genre is like the demonic, like possession movies, but I'm very particular, very picky with them because some of them are shit. Some of them are so bad. Like the only reason why I didn't like the second one and even the third one kind of for the Conjuring movies is because I hate the concept of like a CGI like demon in the movie. Like how the second one was centered around like the nun situation, like the demon nun thing.
Like,
I hated that.
so
I
you
fucking
like
hated
the
that.
ones that's like based on a true story.
Kind of. I mean, because the second one was apparently based on a true story too, but like,
It's like a real actor. They just put like makeup and shit.
right, or like where someone gets like physically possessed. Like in the first one, right, like she has to get possessed. Like in the first one, the mom got possessed and that was like the demon. That one was incredible. Like the second one, not that anyone didn't get possessed, but I just hate the idea of like the CGI demon. Like the CGI demon just makes it like corny for me. I don't know.
So like,
I can't
after
deal
you
with it.
watch the movie,
Uh-huh.
are you scared?
No.
You're not like, you don't see like a pitch dark room and you're like, oh shit.
It really depends. The only
Or like a
movie
hallway. You're going down this hallway and the lights just.
I mean like I get a little like, you know, like my mind will be racing and like thinking of stuff and I'll be like, oh, like let me get in bed real quick. Like I'll like, but nothing ever to where like I can't fall asleep. Like my sleep has never been affected by a horror movie.
That's so creepy.
The only movie that has made like a lot, like has impacted me and I've had like a lasting effect from watching was Hereditary.
I heard about that.
Bro.
I heard that's really freaking.
Hereditary.
Is that the one with the little girl?
Yes.
And her head falls off?
Yes.
It doesn't fall off, but it got like cut or something.
Yeah, she had like an allergic reaction and her brother was like racing her to the hospital in the car and she stuck her head out the window because she couldn't, like her throat was closing up, she couldn't breathe, and she stuck her head out the window to try to get some air and he like swerved. There's like a deer in the road or something. He swerved and she smacked her head on like a telephone pole.
Oh shit.
And it just
Okay.
flew right off.
And the
Yeah.
brother didn't the brother get possessed in class?
Yes. Yeah.
And he like, the acting was crazy.
Have you
Like,
seen it? You need to watch it. How do you know all this? I was gonna say, how do you know all this and you
I don't
haven't
watch
seen it?
Okay, so my brother watched it, but I like peeped little scenes. Because I don't like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Unless I'm watching with a big group. But if I know this.
We can watch it together.
Oh hell no. It's gotta be-
I'm gonna be sitting here enjoying it. Like,
It depends on the group. If the group likes to fuck around
no,
and like
no,
don't scare me,
no.
I'm not watching a movie with them.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna
But
say,
if it's someone that's like we're both trying to enjoy this movie,
yeah.
then that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would sit here and like full attention on the movie.
Yeah, but no. I'm not.
No, he said I'm good.
I saw clips from TikTok,
Uh-huh.
similar to what you're doing, where they have a podcast and
Yeah.
they talk about movies, and then they have the clips playing.
Yeah,
It's really good.
it's so good.
Really scary. Like the mom was like in the ceiling.
Yep.
And shit. Oh hell no.
Yep, that movie had a lasting. Like, I think about that movie every day because that movie came out maybe like 3, maybe 4. I think over the summer will be 4 years since it came out. Honestly, I saw it in theaters with my brother and my grandpa. My grandparents are from Puerto Rico, and my whole family's from Puerto Rico, but my grandpa and my grandma were here for the summer. We took my grandpa to go see it because he loves horror movies also. So, but they mostly speak Spanish. Like, they can barely pick up English. But me and my brother took him to go see it, and we walked out of the movie. I'm like, oh my God, that was the craziest movie I've ever seen. My brother's the same way. And we asked my grandpa, like, did you understand it? Like, did you understand what was going on? Because it was in English, obviously. And he said, oh yeah, like, it was incredible. Like, he loved it. Just from like watching whatever he could pick up from like the language, like, he enjoyed it so much. It was such an incredible movie, and it's had such a lasting impact on me. No horror movie that I've seen since then has made me feel the way Hereditary has made me feel.
It's
Period.
to me, it's like
I will be spending the rest of my life searching for a horror movie that was as good as Hereditary. The rest of my life.
Like, this is like real, like ghosts and demons and stuff. Like, these stuff are real and it's
Yeah.
spiritual.
Yeah.
So like let's say you watch like serial killer movie, right?
Yeah.
Very gory.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people like that, but at least you know you're safe in your own house. But when it
Well.
comes to like spiritual thing, well, not.
I'm like,
not
if anything, some people might argue the serial killer stuff is scarier because it seems more realistic. Like, people are skeptical. People don't always believe in the spiritual stuff. Like,
Right.
I think I do.
But
I would believe in
you
it.
could
Like,
always be like, you know what I mean? Like, not be in weird areas.
yeah.
But like spiritual stuff, like bro, that can come at you.
Right, you can't really control it.
It
Yeah.
can come at you like wherever you are, and also like in your dream.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like that's where it gets me, because like damn, they can follow me.
Who was I with that we were? Oh, when I went to dinner with the team a couple weeks ago, like with Russ and the GBT, or like the Better and like the Corrupted team, we went to dinner, and they started talking about what's it called? Sleep paralysis.
I've had that.
You've had sleep paralysis?
Yes.
That's insane. I like, knock on wood, am I doing a sign of the cross? I have no, literally. I have never experienced that, but that seems horrifying to me.
Scary. You're sitting there. You're just like.
And you be seeing shit
So
like.
think of your bed.
Uh-huh.
So I was laying on my bed.
Oh my god.
I was like looking out my door because there was a hallway.
You sleep with your door open?
This was when I was younger.
Oh my god, that's insane.
And literally, like, I was just staring and I couldn't move my body.
That's
I was
insane.
just like stuck. And I was freaking out. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm stuck here. I can't move.
You can't just like close your eyes and go back to sleep?
I
Like,
would close my eyes, but now I'm just open them and I'll be like, oh shit, I'm still stuck in my, like, I'm like stuck in my dream.
oh my
But
god.
like, it's not a dream where you just like go out and like explore shit. You're,
Right.
Like, you're just staring at like wherever, like you're not looking. Your head's here.
Stop. That's so scary. I can't.
Dude, my arms are out like this.
I can't.
Your
That's,
head was like this. You can't go.
that's,
No, you're literally like, you're like this. You're stuck, and you're like, oh.
that's insane.
Yeah, I woke up with. I was just like.
Did you like see
what's the-
something?
What's the word where you're like breathing heavy? You have
Like asthmatic? Like.
What's that? There's like a.
Hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hyperventilating.
Oh my god.
But a lot of people say that when we have sleep paralysis, it's like there's like a demon on top of you or something. I didn't see that. I was just stuck.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out because
So you didn't see anything
It
visually.
was the unknown of knowing how long am I going to be in this
Right.
position.
So how do you get out of it? Do you eventually just fall back asleep and then wake up and you're normal, or like you gotta say a prayer or some shit? Like how do
It just happens. You don't know.
I gotta like pray, like, please let me out?
I've had days. There was like a point in my life where I would sleep. And I don't know what caused it. It was probably like something like my lifestyle was probably pretty crazy. I would have nightmares back to like I would stay up all night and I would go to bed and then I would have nightmares and I would wake up from the nightmare. And I would go back to bed. I would have another. It would be the same.
Oh my god.
Nightmare. It would be
The same one?
And it's like and like I was just so tired. I just wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
But I was so scared to sleep because
Yeah.
I would have nightmares. Yeah, it was scary. I was sweating and hyperventilating.
That's insane. I've heard that what causes the sleep paralysis is like exhaustion, like lack of sleep. Like you like can't fall into a deep sleep for whatever reason, and then because you're so exhausted from like the day or whatever it is that you're doing, like that's what causes the sleep paralysis inevitably. Yeah. But I don't know, like that's fucking weird. That's the closest thing to like demonic possession I can think of besides actual demonic possession. The concept of that is terrifying.
Really?
Yeah, to me. Knock on wood. I never have that. I'm like, I sleep like a baby. I fall asleep quickly. I stay asleep for the most part. Like,
and like sleep on your arm and your arms like
yeah,
just, like limp.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
That's crazy.
You just like you're moving like I guess like the inside part and you're just like it's not doing it.
That's so crazy. But it's like you're asleep, right? Like it's a dream technically. Like nothing's holding you from moving. I think it's like a weird. I think what it is, it's like a limbo in your consciousness.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're in like this weird limbo of like kind of awake, but still kind of in a dream.
You're very aware.
Correct.
And that's the scary part is that you're aware that your body is like sleeping, and in a way, you can kind of see like you've seen like Doctor Strange, like an astral projection of your body.
Yes. And
you're just like, oh shit, I'm stuck.
So can you see yourself?
Kind of. It's like you see yourself, but you know how you can like imagine things.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like that.
That's just scary, bro.
Yeah.
Sleep is so, like, there's so much research. Like, there's people that, like, spend their entire, like, professional lives, like, researching sleep and, like, researching, like, the concept of dreams and stuff like that. Like, that stuff, that's why I like psychology. Like, that's certain aspects of psychology that I'm like, that's super interesting. I would spend some time researching that. Maybe I will. But, yeah, that's my horror movie conversation for today. I think I'm ready to wrap this up, honestly. Because that was the only submission I got, which is okay because I just posted this on Snapchat this morning. It was just a quick thing. I didn't expect to get a lot, but I think this was a good episode. Do you think we got some clips we can use here?
Yeah,
Bet. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see what Brian does with this. All right, slay, bet. All right, well, I will see you guys next week. I'll definitely give you guys a huge recap on the whole Gymshark situation that happens this week. I'll talk to you guys next week. Like I said, thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoy this. Hope the visual comes out incredibly. And knowing Brian and his work, I'm sure it will. I have no doubts in him. But yeah, I guess with that, I'll go ahead and talk to you guys next week. As always, it's your girl. Goodbye. Slay!
Play it. Good job.
OMG.
That was clean.
Thank you.
Podcast is low-key kind of fun.
It is fun.